Hello, my name's Jacob Deal. I am a freshly graduated software engineer. Uh, I This is my first YouTube video I've ever made, and I'm gonna try and make this as beginner friendly and fun as possible. I used to be passionate about gaming, and so I kind of want to do something that would be fun. So we're going to be building out components of a game. Uh, each week we'll release a new component or feature. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on building the console for the game, the character for the game, that character's movements, and the bullet firing mechanism. We're also going to be basically fast forwarding through a lot of the code, but feel free to slow it down. Just don't want to make this a 2 hour long video. So first, I'm going to open Ubuntu, and I'll cd into games, and then we'll do game recording. Sorry. Actually, go ahead and make a directory game recording, and cd into that. And then we will go ahead and do a npm create vite at latest. Okay. And we'll call it game recording, because I can't do anything else. Make it React, JavaScript. Okay, we'll cd into that. npm hide, and then we'll code that. Next, we'll go ahead and we'll do npm run dev so we can see our screen. All right. So here we have our create vite. What we're first going to do is we're going to first off delete all of the CSS styling that came with it. All right. Next, we'll go to our app and we'll delete everything within the fragments. Okay. And the first step that we're going to have is we're going to create a component. So I'm going to do this in my source file. And we need to create the console. So I'm just going to call it console.jsx. And this is the border of the game. So this will be function console. And what we're going to do is we're going to return our div. And then from here, we're actually just going to make this div the console itself. So we'll do last name console. Okay. And then back in our app.css, we'll do a .console. And that console will have a border of solid black 1 pixel. And then it will also have a height. We're going to keep everything in pixels. The reason why is because when we get to our mouse movement or our mouse section, it does everything in pixels. It does everything from this top left corner. Here is where we're going to determine that. So that's really important for our gaming. So we could divide everything by 16 to get to ems, but I'm not sure that's going to be working for everyone's computer. So we're going to stick with pixels. So we're going to go with a height of, let's say, 500 pixels. And a width of 500 pixels, just to see where we're at. And let's see, we also need to import. Let's look at that. And we need to import console. And we also have export console. Export default console. Go back to our tab, import console. And here we will need console. And that should make our console appear on screen. So there's still this little bit of border here. So let's go back to our app. We'll do root. And for the root, we're going to do margin 0, heading 0. And then get rid of it. So let's go ahead and do a margin top of 8 pixels of -8. There we go. And we'll do a margin left of -8. All right. Let's make this a little bit wider to 700. All right. Now that we have our borders, let's go ahead and add in a character. So let's go to console, and let's actually make a character within console. So let's do source, new file, and we'll do character.jsx. And this component will return our function of character. Okay, return being a div. And this div will be class name of character. Okay, we'll go back to our app.css, and we'll do a character. And we'll define his attributes. We want a border of solid. Let's go green, 1 pixel. And then we want the height of this character to be 20 pixels, and the width to be 15 pixels. And of course, we need to export default character, capitalize of course, and then we'll import character, and we'll do character. Okay, now we have our character. Now, usually you don't want to do inline CSS, but to make our character move around with JavaScript, there has to be some things I dynamically render. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my character and give him a style. Actually, you know what? We're going to first use state. So we'll do const character x, character x, const character x. This is to determine where he is equals to use state, and we'll return that soon enough. Let's use 0 for now. And we import use state, import use state. Okay, and then const, and it'll be character y, set character y equals use state of 0. And really quickly, what we're saying here eventually is that we want our character to be at the 0 position and the 0 position on the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So next we'll do a style and double curly brackets. And for this, we want to have a top of whatever character x is, character y. And we actually need to interpolate that. So let's go ahead and do that. And curly brackets and money sign. And we'll do pixels. And we'll do the same thing. Let's copy, paste that. This will be x, right over run. We'll do left. So basically, what we are saying here, we're basically saying to set the top 0 pixels, whatever character y is. And then I'm just going to just change those up. So we're saying, actually, I'll rise over run a little better, just to say that way. So what we're basically saying is set the top of this character 0 pixels away from that border, and then 0 pixels away from this border. If we change this to 10, we're going to go down 10 pixels. Or not. Let's see here. What are we forgetting? 10 pixels? Let's try margin top. Margin top. There we go. Okay. We'll try margin left as well. Margin left. All right. So we're going to actually set this. I want my character to be right here, somewhere else. Maybe just a little bit up. So I'm going to look at I believe it was 500 pixels. We have to do minus 20. So for y, we'll do 480, 400 pixels. That puts it down here. And then I want somewhere more, another one more upwards, so 460. And I believe this was 700 pixels wide. So we want to go 350 minus 15 because he's 15 pixels in width. So that would be 335. 335. Okay, so that should be centered within the screen. Just a little bit offset with the line. 20 pixels off. And this is where you're going to start. Now again, to start moving, what we need to do, we're actually going to be doing this within our console. And the reason why is because we're going to be clicking in this console to be shooting. And when we have this character here, if we want him to move, if we did it on the character, then we would always have to be clicking within the character to make him to make him active, essentially. So we're going to do console, and in the console, we're going to do tab index of 0, and this just makes it the first thing that we're going to be tabbed on. And then we were going to do a on key down, and on key down we're going to build a function. Let's see here. So what do we want? We'll call move, and we'll do a function of move. Okay, and then we'll also get to on key down. We also want to do state, so we need to import state, use state, and our states are going to be up, subconst, up, comma, stop equals use state, false, and we're going to do that with up, down, so control D, do down, and let's make that up, down, left, right, and left, right, and we got it. There we go. Okay, so on the function of move, we're going to also bring up e here, and we're going to do if e.e equals w. Then we want to set up equals true. So what we're basically doing is we're making this a switch, where we're saying when e.key equals w, we want up to be true. Okay, easy enough. Inversely though, we want a way to make e.key or up false. So what we're going to do is we're going to do on key up equals stop move, and we're going to do function stop move with e, and if e.key equals w, then what we want to do is we want to set up to false. Okay, now what we need for this is we need to bring in this up, this down, this right, down the character. So what we're going to do is up equals up. We're just going to set up. We're going to go to our character, we're going to bring in up, and then let's see here. Here. You know what? We might have to bring this stuff up to state. So we're going to actually step in. We're going to do character x, character y. We're going to remove these state because we don't need anymore. We'll remove these two, and then we'll go here. All right, and instead of bringing up in here, we're going to do character x equals character x, and character y equals character y. Okay, so now we still have character x and character y. We're just going to do the state of the console instead of the state of character. Now we have to do the logic for set up equals true. Okay, we'll have to use a use effect. No, use effect, and this use effect will take use effect. Let's arrow, and we'll get our box out of the way. There we go. And we'll also update the same kind of up, down, left, or right is updated. Now let's see here. We're going to do what's here. We're going to do a set interval, but we need it. Well, hang on. Let's do set up, if up equals true. Then set character y do, and we'll do character y equals 0, character y plus, and we'll do 5 pixels. Well, let's see 10 pixels. So let's try it. Oh, but we need it to be negative 10. And the reason why is because we're going is because of this distance with a positive interval. We're saying that this is 660 pixels away from the top. So we want it to be going up. We need to do 650, 640, and so on and so forth. Okay. So we also might need a set interval because well, let's also do if e.key equals s, then set down equals 0, false, and we'll copy that. Down that. Just need one. There we go. E.key equals s, and this will be true. And then we also need to just copy this. Shift if down equals true. Plus down. Okay. Set down is true. Down equals true. Copy equals true. Let's try this. Okay, what's going on here? I see. I can move this up one, two. There we go. Okay, now we move up and down. The only issue is I want it to be moving. So just if I'm holding down, you can see it, but if I'm holding down on W, it's not continuously going up. So what do we need to fix that? We could use a set interval. So we'll do move, we'll call it move interval. So const move interval. And we'll do function. And it'll be an anonymous function. We'll control X on that, and control V this, and we'll set interval for move interval equals set interval. That's better. And we'll do it every 100 milliseconds. Okay, oh. We have to do interval. Okay, so set interval, and then remove interval, interval, move interval, and we return that. Return. Interval. That's right. Okay. That's what I just did. So we need an interval. Just Z. Just Y. Y. Okay. Copy true. And just need it. As I did before. Okay. Okay. I just remembered how I did that interval. So what we need to do is we need to go to e.key. We're going to do not. We're going to do down equals 0, not down. And up equals 0, not up. Up. There we go. All right. So now we do the rest of them. If e.key equals a do let well, set let equals 0, not let. We'll do the same thing. Oh, shift key equals d right equals not right. Okay. And then this in here. C v equals false. This equals false. And then we need to put left here. Let equals true. And then set character x equals 0, x And that was left, so we need minus 10. And we'll do right, and we'll do plus 10. All right, so now we have something to move diagonally. And it's on our screen. Also, the right doesn't seem to work. It's going to the right or to the left. Why is that? Let's see here. Right, not right. Okay. Boom. Here's my return. False. There's one mistake. Let's see what's going on. Right equals true. And think that again. If e.k equals d. Okay. Set left. We want set. Right. There we go. Now we can move diagonally. Basically move it anywhere we want. Okay. Now we need to add the bullet functionality. So let's do a little mathematics here. So we have our, and let's put a coordinate out here. So right here is where our character is, and here is where we're aiming at. And so what we're going to do to get the trajectory is we're going to divide the y coordinate by 20. In this instance, we're just going to go by 5. And we're going to do the x coordinate and divide that by 20. But for sanity's sake, we're just going to put 5 ticks. And so what's going to happen is our bullet is going to travel in whatever interval we set. This amount of distance here, and this amount of distance here. And that gives us our trajectory. And again, it's going to jump up this far and this far. And that's how we're going to be able to aim or have our bullet go from our character to the point that we're mousing over. And furthermore, since we're measuring from this edge here, all we have to do to get that difference is basically subtract the position of the mouse X from the character X, or vice versa. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We'll have to add a mouse X. And set mouse X equals use state. And we'll do any constant mouse Y. Set mouse Y equals use state. And then we'll have to do a use vector. And in that use vector we have set. Let's do a function of update. And we'll do set mouse, and we'll do b set mouse X. And that will be e dot client X. And set mouse Y to e dot client Y. Okay. And we need to add a listener for update. So we need to add event listener. Up. That will be on mouse move. Down. And we will do update. And we need to return a harmonic function. And that will be document move. Event listener. And that will be mouse move. Down update. Okay. And then what we need to do, let's go ahead and just test this out. So we'll do p tag of mouse X. X. Okay. Now you can see down here we have the pixels of where X is. And the reason why earlier we moved the frame off to the left over here, the console, is to make sure that this is at 0. So that's important for aiming. Now we got that thing kind of moving. It's not position absolute. We could add something to make it position absolute, but we're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to remove it. Just want to make sure that it's working. All right. Now we're going to start on bullet. So we'll do a new source, new file of bullet.jsx with function, and it'll be bullet, and return. We always return divs. Or you could do fragments. Usually I use the fragments, so I want to use fragments. So explore default bullet, and we'll go ahead and give this class name of bullet, and go into our.css. We'll do dot bullet, and it'll be border solid black 1 pixel, and we'll do a height of, let's say, 2px, width of 2px. Okay. And all we need to do is bring that bullet in. So we'll do a bullet. Okay, so our bullet's right here. All right, let's make it a little bigger so we can see it. Okay, so we have our bullet. We need to dynamically render where the bullet is. I don't want it to be within a character because the bullet has to interact with our enemies. So we're going to do character X. X equals character X. X and character Y equals character Y. Okay, and then we're going to bullet. Character X, character Y. And this is important because within this class we're going to have a style, and that style is going to be equals sign. And we're going to have the top. Oh, we have left, margin left of character X. And we'll make position absolute. Awesome, character position absolute. There we go. All right, and then going back to our bullet. So margin left of character X, margin top of character Y. Okay, and then we'll go back and we'll make it smaller again. We'll do 3 pixels. There we go. Now we have our bullet, and we'll do background color of black. There we go. Okay, so now we have our bullet. We have character, and our bullet's origin is starting on the character. All right, next we go to, let's see here. Let's close out on that. So now we have, let's get Y. Let's do the mouse X and mouse Y next. So mouse X equals mouse X. Mouse Y equals mouse Y. All right, we'll put those here. Mouse X or mouse Y. And actually, we want to use state. And we want to actually make this similar to how we did our character. We want to do const bullet X, bullet Y equals use state. And it's going to be character X. Object. And do set bullet X. Set bullet X. There we go. This will be Y. This will be set bullet Y and character Y. Great. Okay. We also don't want this bullet to exist unless I'm pressing down on my mouse. So we're going to write this in JSX, and we'll do a const firing, const firing equals use state of false. Okay, and then we'll do an unclick event. Click. So we make it on mouse down. That's going to be fire. And so function fire. And so set firing. Firing equals 0, not firing. Okay. Next we'll do equals 0. Let's do true. True. And if firing is true, then we also need to do a mouse up. Mouse up equals cease fire. And we'll do function for that. We'll do function cease fire. Set firing equals 0 false. Okay. So I'm going to test this out. So bullet will have firing question mark, and if firing will exists. If it does not, then do null. Okay, so now when we hold down on the mouse, the bullet exists. Now we need to add the trajectory of the bullet. So X minus X minus Y line. So I'm real quick going to change this to bullet Y and bullet X. And then next, I'm going to use state of our trajectory. So it's going to be bullet X trajectory, set bullet X trajectory, equals use state. And this is going to be, we're going to do character X minus mouse X. And we'll do the same for the Y. Okay. So now we have our bullet X trajectory and bullet Y trajectory. We're actually never going to use these sets. You can use the use effect here, but I find that this is just a lot easier. So next we're also going to use the use effect. And we're going to do this every time that bullet X or bullet Y changes. And so now we have, let's see here, bullet X, bullet Y. So we set, actually let's do an interval. And let's actually make a let. Here. Oh, let's just go over that. So we'll do a const bullet interval equals set interval. And we'll do an anonymous function. And in that anonymous function, we are going to do set bullet X. That's going to be bullet X minus the bullet X trajectory. But we want to divide it by 20. And same thing, we want to do set bullet Y minus bullet Y trajectory over 20. Okay? And then we want to clear interval of bullet interval. All right. We've got our gun shooting, but the only thing is that I don't like, and so when we get further out, it fires faster. And when we get closer in, it fires a lot slower. I don't mind it firing a lot faster as we get further out, but that's a little too slow for a bullet. So, simple fix. I've tried to do an equation for making the speed variable, but by making this, by making the speed constant, it just fired in one direction. So instead, what I want to do is we're going to take the, let's see, we're going to do an if statement, and if the bullet X trajectory is less than 20, and bullet X trajectory is greater than negative 20, and bullet Y trajectory is greater than negative 20. So and then if and bullet Y trajectory is less than 20, let's just return. And what we'll return is, let's return. All right, so now it's not firing if we get too close. And I kind of want to get a 30. Okay, so this is what we'll take this bullet X minus bullet trajectory divided by 20. We'll actually X that out. And we'll do a let, and we'll say bullet X move equals control V. And let bullet Y move equal control V. And if this happens, so we're going to take that down here. We'll just do control C, and control V. And so now instead of returning, I just want to make sure it's working, we're going to do bullet X move. Bullet right equals bullet X minus bullet X trajectory. And we'll copy it down, hold shift, control D to select more things. There we go. It's a lot more consistent. All right. That's pretty much it, but I did notice one little thing with my character, and that is sometimes it gets stuck on false, and then when I type anything, it still continues to go to the right. I'm actually pressing my A key right now, and it's going right, so that's not something I want. So let's fix that. If down equals true, then we also need to not only set the character, right, but we also need to set up to false. We need to set left false. Well, if down is true, we still want to make it so they can move diagonally. So that's really all I want to do the opposite. So if up equals true, then down equals false. And if left is true, then set right equals arrow false. Cut that down. We'll do set left. And that should fix that. Yes, it's much, much more responsive, which is great. All right, in the next video, we're going to be taking enemies and having the bullets interact with the enemies, add enemy tracking, and we're going to also add a level feature, just a button, just to start off with, so you can click for the next wave of enemies to come through. And we want to make it scale. So that's for the next video, and I can't wait to see you next week.